was a good time.
Call this meeting to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Paul Tricia?
Councilmember Matt Watkins.
Here.
Councilmember Bill Earl.
Here.
Mayor Bill Reinhardt.
Here.
Vice Mayor Rick Johannes.
Here.
And Councilmember Larry Hassan.
Present.
Thank you.
Okay, public comments.
Linnell Esch, and tonight I'm here with the Brunson Area Historical Society. We had a work day on Saturday. If you don't know, we bought the building that used to be the old Reynolds Pharmacy, and we're gonna make it into a museum. So on Saturday, we had a work day. We got the carpet tore up, we got ceiling tiles taken down, and that was mainly to get the smell out of the building, because it's very musty, closed up smell. So we had about 13 people that showed up to help us, and we worked our tails off. Couldn't move yesterday, but I wanted to let you know, on February 23rd at 3 o'clock at the Congregational Church, we'll have an information meeting for the community, just to let people know who we are, what we have planned to do, what we hope to do, and some of the fundraising ideas we have coming up. So we hope to see all of you there. And if you have any questions, we do that. We can answer them tonight. Otherwise, we see you at the meeting.
Thank you. Any other public comments?
I live in here, own and operate Schaefer Farms out there on Central Road. We've got side-by-sides and stuff that the county ordinance passed. Was just curious if you guys were gonna consider it to be in the city, so we could come and get gas and maybe spend some money at the local businesses and restaurants uptown instead of having to go down into Indiana and Burr Oak and Colon that allow us to do it up there.
I believe the biggest thing there is 12, right? Because we can't give permission on 12.
Just cross it as all, same thing with the county ordinance. Yeah, I mean, for Colin's got 86 that runs right down through it, so that's all that's. We're just wonders.
What do you know, Steve?
Can't drive them on 12. You can cross, but you can't drive them on 12 anywhere.
That side by side, illegal here?
And not in town though. just
Not in
local. We looked at that when we did the ordinance and we didn't choose to, at that time, didn't choose to do anything with side by sides.
Thank you. Any more public comments?
I'm Frank Walsh. I just want to come and introduce myself. I'm the New Branch County Administrator. I've been on the job for about 2 months now, so I'm trying to get around all the communities and get to know everyone and look forward to working with all of you. I had to leave early because I got 2 other townships to go to tonight, but Brandon and I have known each other for probably 15 years, so I know part of your team and look forward to working with you. It's great county. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. Any more public comments?
Sure, Rick Hollister, County Commissioner. I work for Frank Walsh. No, not a lot of new news to bring tonight compared to a month ago. So we're just trying to get our budget implemented. Frank's got some ideas on reorganizing things at the administrator's office over there, and so we're going forward with some of those things. To move forward and try and keep us up to speed here in the 21st century, trying to keep moving ahead. And other than that, township meetings tonight also. So we're making the rounds. So if you have any questions here, if you need anything, let me know what I can do to help with what your efforts are here. Whether it's now or after the meeting, I'll be available.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. My turn? Yep. Midnight patrols are gonna start middle of April, so we'll have 24-hour coverage coming. Hopefully that'll help the city out as well with backup and all that stuff with the state police.
we're gonna have at least 3 cars on. Ourselves and the Michigan State Police are gonna have 2 or 3 on as well, so we'll have 6 cars on midnight, so. Our minimum is gonna be 2, can't work with less than 2, so. That's coming, it's been a long time coming for the community, so we're happy. Hopefully we can keep people on staff to be able to do that, so. We have body cameras coming as well, body cameras and in-car cameras. We signed that contract last week and looking forward to implementing that. So it's gonna be a good asset to the office. And a lot of other irons in the fire, but if you guys ever need us, call us. We'll be there. So thank you, Brett.
Thank you, Fred, for implementing the cameras. That's something that has sadly been needed, and I'm really happy that you guys have done that.
Yep.
And having 24-hour protection is gonna be a really big factor for our whole county.
Yep.
I mean, we've always maintained it here, but having backup closer is gonna be great, and with the fire department, we've always needed it, and so we're pleased. Thank you.
Any more public comments? Which one is canceled tonight, 1 or 2?
The redevelopment ready community.
So maybe tonight.
Yeah. Stuff presentation.
Okay, so we have a presentation for the annual audit.
Yeah, that's me. Alright, so I believe you all have a copy of the audit in front of you, so I'll reference that kind of as I run through everything. But the main topics I'm going to touch on are just the community audit and then some of the financial highlights and answer questions as I go through it. So if you do, feel free to interrupt me. If you don't know me, my name is Ian. I was one of the auditors who worked for the audit, and I was here last year and I worked with Tricia a couple of years ago. It was very quick and easy. So page 1 of the audit, it's a few pages in, but it's page number 1. This is the independent auditor's report. If you look at the first 2 paragraphs on it, it's the, I won't read it all, but it's the wording or the verbiage for unmodified, or it's the opinion, the best opinion the city could receive. So in essence, you and Tricia and everybody ran past the audit. So Louis, everyone. Go down a few more pages to, I believe, page 5. This is the management discussion and analysis section, and I'm going to look at the financial highlight bullet points. So your assets exceeded your liabilities at the end of the fiscal year by about 9.4 million, a little bit over that. Of that 9.4 million, about 3.6 million is considered unrestricted net position, unrestricted equity. In the city, it could be used for anything. The big difference between the 9 million and the 3.6 is largely built up of your either capital assets, and it's not really easy to spec the building, or your restricted net position for major local streets. Things like that. You had about 3.4 million in revenues and about 2.5 million in expenses, so you increased your net position by about 900,000 during the fiscal year. Your governmental funds specifically had combined fund balances of about 2.8-ish million, which was an increase of 300K over the previous year. Of that 2.8, 1.3-ish million is available for spending at the city's discretion, so it's not used for anything. It's all in your general fund. If you take your unassigned fund balance as a ratio of your general fund expenditures and transfers out for the fiscal year, it equates to about 93%. Meaning if you have similar expenditures this year and receive no income, you'd survive about 93% of it. So it's enough cash to not have cash issues, but also not a ton where you're just sitting on cash without spending. So, if you get on a couple more pages, page 8. This is your statement of net position. It can be a little bit hard to read because we were trying to show a lot of information on the one page. But you can see your assets, cash mainly, your capital assets, and then liabilities and equity account. It changes year over year between your governmental and business type. Governmental is going to be your general fund, major streets fund, local streets. Business type is going to be your water and sewer only. So you can kind of see the differences year over year for each of those. Aren't any giant changes. Your pension stayed pretty similar. You pay down your debt. in accordance with how you're supposed to pay. Your cash increased a little bit, which was basically just because you received more revenue than what you spent. You got on one more page. This is your statement of changes in that position. It shows your revenues and your expenses, and the changes year over year. Your wastewater, sewer, and water fund were the main, I guess, had a larger change for your expenses, where it decreased about 500,000 just because you had a lot of repair and maintenance last year that you didn't have this year. Your expenses decreased. Beyond that, it was pretty similar. You had an increase in property tax, an increase in investment income because interest rates increased, and your expenses for your governmental activities are pretty similar year over year. If you go down to page 15 and 17, these are your balance sheet and your income statement for your governmental funds specifically. Shows your general fund, major streets fund, and all your other funds, but the other funds is largely don't look at your local streets. That's mainly what's in it. The back end of the audit shows more detail if you really want more detail on those other governmental funds. Then page 19 and 20 shows the same for your water and sewer fund, and your internal service fund, your motor pool. If you want more detail on your assets and your income statement items there to the. Beyond that, that's all I had. Any questions on any of it? It was a good fiscal year as far as I'm concerned.
Nothing's really, we get big change.
No. I know Tricia's been making some pretty significant developments, I think, with kind of BSNA and how that's being used. So that's helping make the job easier to whoever comes in next or for herself. So it will. It's nice to use BSNA, so she's making it worthwhile.
We'll keep working on it.
Appreciate both of you, everything you've been doing.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
You too.
It's pleasant to have these kind of audits.
It's pleasant, yeah.
It's so pleasant.
Hopefully you get them most of the time. I assume you did with us most of the time. Hopefully we continue that.
That makes sense.
Any questions?
Yeah. I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Yeah. All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? New business. Approve resolution 25-2-2 poverty tax exemption. Brandon?
Thank you, Mayor Reinhardt. Annually, the city needs to adopt poverty tax exemption guidelines for the assessing board of review. The city assessor has prepared the resolution in your packet that follows state guidelines and updates the attached, or in your packet, the poverty exemption application. Updates those income levels every year.
Any questions?
No.
A motion?
I'll make a motion, we adopt resolution 25-2-2 as presented.
I'll support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay. Approve architecture contract for City Hall Police Department building project. Brandon?
Thank you, Mayor Reinhardt. We can discuss this item, but I would rather we table it to the next meeting. We received the contract only today, and there was a few issues with it. But I'll summarize kind of what we received. We got 8 responses in total, which was fantastic. A lot of different, very qualified firms. We interviewed 5. They're estimating anywhere between 400,000 up to over $1 million. That's before really getting into the nitty-gritty with an architect and construction managers. So That's really all I have for you, unfortunately, due to contract issues, but Patrick and I will work to resolve those issues before the next meeting and bring it back to you.
Thank you. Do we need a motion to table that?
I don't think it's
No,
necessary.
as long as nobody makes a motion to approve it, then it just,
Okay.
it just automatically tables till then.
Okay. Sanitary sewer jetter back truck discussion. Brandon?
Thank you, Mayor Reinhardt. DPW foreman Joe Swain has been researching a new sewer jetter. Our current jetter is getting very hard to find parts for. A new jetter is roughly about 85,000 or more for just a standard trailer unit. We also found some used vac trucks, which would provide those services along with several additional functions that we currently can't do. So staff is looking for input from council regarding potential vac truck and other recommendations for an appropriate model. Some benefits of a vac truck over a trailer jetter is you're getting the high pressure jetting along with a powerful vacuum system so that you can vacuum up the debris you're clearing. Can you efficiently locate underground utilities without digging, greatly reducing danger of hitting and breaking gas or other utility lines. Quickly clear water from work areas, especially during water main breaks, and increases trench safety. Ability to clean and rehabilitate catch basins, manhole debris removal, prevents debris from entering the treatment plant and damaging pumps at the plant. Improves safety and reduced time on work sites, including replacing water service lines. You'll remember that we did a lot of potholing of service lines at the curb stop, and we did not quite half of them or about half of them. So we still have a lot that we need to verify. It's based on sort of the neighborhood. They estimated within a certain probability, I think it's about 90%, but it would save us a lot of time in doing those service lines, and we can hydro excavate and see what's at the curb stop before we do any real digging. It would save staff a lot of time and be very useful for a number of different things.
We've been budgeting towards that for the last couple of years, so what
Yeah.
are we looking at in the, I guess,
We-
more, if that's what you call it or whatever?
Yeah, we have $100,000 in there for this budget for a jetter.
I'd like to give my opinion. I had lunch with Brandon and Joe today, we talked intensively about this. I like the idea of a jetter unit, back truck combination. I know it's not gonna be easy to find, because he's found one that was close to us, but the problem of it is, the engine in that truck is not something that's gonna give us longevity. We're ending up about like we did with the bucket truck, and Joe did an excellent job of finding a good bucket truck. But it was more than we thought it was gonna be, and I think we're gonna be in the same bracket here. But in the long run, I think it's gonna be a well worthwhile piece of equipment to pick up. But he's gonna have to really, because the ones that you're gonna find easily have the bad engines, because everybody's wanting to get rid of them.
But the question is it worthwhile to buy the truck and put a new engine in it?
No. Oh.
Cost-
Believe me, it's.
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you can get them cheap enough that it's worth throwing an engine in something and running it for another 10 years or whatever. But I haven't seen it, don't know nothing about it, so
You're getting more into my field, and,
that's why I'm asking.
you'd have to convert it over from the present engine style to
The news.
a different style, and it would, lots and lots of money goes into that. So I don't think that's a good, well, unless you could buy one real cheap that's already blown up or something. I don't recommend it. I recommend that we have him look and with council's idea that don't be surprised if you're pushing close to 200,000 to do what, for him to get, well, a good one. Where I'm sure a new one is $500,000 or better.
50 million.
So, like I say, he did a great job on the bucket truck. Let's let him see what he can do on this. I give my blessing in moving that direction.
Well,
But-
and if you find something spectacular, don't be afraid to call for a special meeting.
Yeah.
You don't wanna lose it because you find it and somebody else finds it out from the media, so.
I thought we did a really good job of just throwing what ifs out there today at lunch and brainstorming on all different kinds of things. Cause I asked about a street sweeper combination and all that, and it wouldn't do the job. But like I say, we beat the bushes pretty hard. I think this is the best option moving forward.
Any more questions?
Anything on
What's that?
it? Nothing more to add?
My biggest concern was, we're, looking at spending $100,000 on a jetter. I see higher uses and liability stuff that we wouldn't have to worry about by taking that $100,000 and moving it towards something that's gonna serve us better as a community.
I should have told the
We have- You have to wait another year on your truck, but
I'm all right with that. I mean, there's a lot that, I don't wanna say being neglected, but it's taken us longer than it should to service it or maintain it than it would if we just had a vac truck, we could get down to it. I mean, there's water services that big enough that don't get nothing done. We've spent $6 on this job because you had gas or anything in the way, where with a hydrovactor, you can just, it's blasting water and you're sucking and you're, boom, oh yeah, okay, don't worry about it, we'll fill it back in, and on to the next. I put a lot of thought into that when I was thinking, yeah, we can get a trailer jet, it's not really serving us any better than what we are now, so.
Is that something that possibly, between the two of you, you could put together an ROI? The return on investment to see what the payoff is, right? Just so, if the five of us are given approval to spend $200,000 or greater, there's gotta be something to back that up to say, look, with a jetter, you're gonna be X amount, with, the back truck, it's gonna be, this, and these are the other things, just so it's out there, so the public's not relying on five people to make a decision, that we have all of that information at our fingertips. So if it's something you guys can put together as far as an ROI or something, here's a quick benefit synopsis, right? And maybe that's good enough. I'm just saying,
you start
out there to.
You start looking into rental and outsourcing, that right there is gonna be huge.
Right. And if that's some of the stuff that you're cutting down, right? That's some of the numbers maybe we need to see behind the scenes to kind of.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, we're looking at, I'm not looking at going against it. I'm just saying,
I get it.
have that information in our hands to where everybody can see
Yeah.
what the benefit's gonna be.
Any more comments or questions?
nope, I'm good.
All right. City staff comments. Joe?
Last month was a lot of salting. It seemed like every time we turned around, there was a dusting and it was requiring salt. A lot of sidewalk cleaning. Right now, we're just doing a little maintenance on trucks, just trying to make sure everything's up to snuff and ready to go, and safety's number one. And come on.
You ready for later in the week?
Was that?
You ready for later in the week?
Right. We won't talk about that.
It's gonna blow by us, right?
Middle of the week. You want south?
I'll get next tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah. I will drive.
Chief Willard?
Are you ready, Joe?
Yes.
So, things are good. Roster's full. Roger Bohach announced his retirement at our meeting Tuesday night. So we definitely thank Roger for his 44 years of service to the Bronson Fire Department. Oddly enough, we hired a young man, and that was his first time at the fire station. And Roger's gear fit him absolutely perfectly. So we just dropped her out. Rolled, if any of you know Skylar Callahan, he's joining us. So very excited to have him along. And yeah, it was just a total fluke. Roger's last night, his first night, and everything worked out really well. But yeah, if you see Roger, give him a pat on the back. And again, once Kenny Stutzman's done running medicals, we'll have an open house in the new classroom. And I'll meet these people in person. So barring any questions, that's what I have to report.
Thank you, Scott. Steve?
Everything's been pretty smooth. Winter time's cold. We had no huge uprisings. We had a little small high school kids protesting downtown today, but that was uneventful. There were just some kids, they behaved themselves, so ended up not being anything. We caught wind of it, but there wasn't a lot of details. We weren't even sure who was doing it, so we had some extra staff and just the base ended up being more high school kids than anything. They were around for about an hour and a half, and they got cold and went home. So. But it was all good. They made their statement and they behaved. So, but other than that, everything's fine.
City manager comments.
Mayor Reinhardt, the city was informed last week that Visu Sewer would not be working on the lining and grouting project now until probably around the end of March. This pushes the project completion date back to October rather than the end of June. The reasoning behind it was to reassign the test and seal work to a more experienced operator. In the summer, the plan is to bring in a second seal and test team. So that will be delayed. Let everyone know about the Match on Main grant that's available. Now that the city is RRC Essentials certified, we're now eligible for the Match on Main grant for downtown businesses. It offers a reimbursement up to $25,000 to support the growth of place-based businesses. The grant requires a 10% match from the applicant. Eligible uses for the grant include technical assistance, building renovations, activation of outdoor space, general marketing and technology, as well as inventory. Businesses must operate a physical location within the downtown area and provide face-to-face services or goods in order to qualify. The grant is open until February 17th, so if anyone's interested, please contact myself or Patrick. I'll let you know as well that there's a planning commission meeting tonight at 6 to discuss the revocation of a special land use permit for 201 Compton Street. And that's all I have.
Council comments, Matt?
No, I appreciate staff for everything they did on the audit, that came in. That was very nice to do. Appreciate everybody's time and effort with that, and just keep working on.
Bill?
Again, just the audit went well. Great job, Tricia, Patrick, Brandon. I know a lot of work goes into that. Joe, thanks for all you do at the city. You're doing a great job. Scott, as always, happy you're here, happy you're doing.
Thank you.
Steve, keep up the good work. You know, things are going well. Really good.
Larry?
The audit was great. I know that we have audits that show we have a desperate time, and Brandon seems to be able to pull the rabbit out of the hat with a no ball. So thank you. It's great to have audits like this. Like I told the gentleman, I've been here when the audits weren't pleasant. It's really pleasant to have audits like this. Joe, I'm impressed with your thinking on the back truck and all the discussion we had about it. I thought it was great. Keep digging, it's not gonna be easy, but you'll come up with one. Like I say, you pulled the rabbit out of the hat on the other one, so go for it, buddy. Frank, thank you for coming tonight. It's a pleasure to see the county
Whatever.
Yeah. County administrator,
Frank's good enough.
to come and introduce yourself, and that way we know a name and a face and who we need to call, and
Anytime.
I appreciate it, thank you. And the ORV, I brought this up one other time, and I think it's something we need to think about. So I'm just bringing it back up to your attention, and I think that's something we need to think about. And I was the one that voted against.
Kind of just make sure their ears are clearing on that one.
I can admit it. So, that's all I have.
Rick.
Yeah, I'd like to, and Linnell's not here, but, what they're doing over here in this new historical building is, it's gonna be really nice. A lot of work went in Saturday, a lot of people tearing out carpet, ceiling tile. It's real impressive how this is moving along. I think your mother-in-law, yeah, she was right at it. And nice to see you here also today, appreciate that. And Tricia?
I'll have a story on it Saturday.
You too. And Tricia, thanks so much for that audit. And the way you're advancing us here and moving this forward in computer and age, we really appreciate it. You're welcome. Rick, nice to see you here too. Appreciate all you do. It's good to see you. I guess that's about it.
All right. I'll echo the sentiments of those guys. Thank everyone for coming tonight. Brandon and Tricia and Patrick on the good audit. We appreciate that. And like they said, it's great to have. And yeah, it's exciting to hear that we're gonna have midnight patrol. I was glad to hear the sheriff mention that. And nice to meet Frank and nice to see Rick again. And Brian, nobody said your name, so I will. Nice to see you. Appreciate Brian.
Just here for the second round.
But yeah, if I have a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.